This is Lord Rick of the Paranormal Ghost Society, non-profit organization. Who are we? What are we about? Well, approximately 2 days ago, roughly April 3rd, April 4th, my YouTube was bombed by the Washoe Tribal Council and some of its members. And I wanted to clarify some things publicly and maybe put things into perspective so that not only do the Washoe people understand where we're coming from, but the public understands the racism I've had to put up with, the threats, the hate speech, all of it is a crime. We don't live in a society anymore where it's like the 1800s. There is no slavery. There is no wars between, as Washoe put it, the white man and the Native Americans. For one, I am not prejudiced against any Native American tribe. I've been to hundreds of Native American sites, and I've never had a problem until I relocated here a couple years ago and started receiving threats. Is it really necessary? Maybe you're smoking way too much of the peace pipe, or maybe I didn't offer the peace pipe to you. But I am a man of peace, and our organization does investigations of the supernatural, but we're also a historically preservation group that goes out to restore the cemeteries, to volunteer at them, and our main goal is to bring history to the people that view our website and our videos. Nothing more. Desecration, vandalism, these are all accusations that the Washoe Tribe has insinuated. We do not vandalize, so get your facts straight. We do not desecrate. Desecration is to disrespect something. Did I disrespect your cemetery by fixing some of the graves? By putting flowers on some of the graves? And I'm accused of desecration? Do you know what's funny? Is that it's people like me that go on the Washoe Reservation and I purchase my cigars from you. I'm a customer. I could easily go to 7-Eleven and buy my cigars, but I buy them from you. Above me, even though you can't see it, you can hear it. It's a dream catcher. I am pro-Native American. Now, what went on, so I can clarify this publicly amongst our fans and our members and our friends and even the people that despise me, is that the Alpine Cemetery is mainly Washoe burials. Some of the people there, I'm not even sure are Native American. But that's besides the point. However, when you put two and two together, the cemetery, you are right, it is on federal grounds. But it's on the federal grounds of the Tyabe National Forest. And in the Tyabe National Forest, you can hike, fish, camp, and you can be there at night or during the day. Now, my concern is your cemetery does not say anything that white people, as your tribal council put it, cannot enter your cemetery. And I know thousands of people who would be appalled by the fact is, A, we had someone who said that they are the tribal council chair. So I went to the Washoe website and found out that you guys had fired or removed your last chairperson. And so now we got someone on YouTube pretending to be a member or the head chief, or in other words, the chair, when you don't have a chair. So now you're lying to me. Secondly, you do not have signs posted in your cemetery saying if you are white, you cannot be there, because this is what I was told. Because I'm white, I am not allowed to be at the Washoe Cemetery. Of course, most people call it Alpine Cemetery because there is a segregated section with white European descent burials there. And I happen to be hiking, per se, with a Washoe friend of mine, because we have members in our group, in our society, who are Washoe tribal members. It's obvious a lot of people are Native American around Carson City and Central California. A lot of reservations. And so we get Native American people who are interested in Bigfoot and the supernatural. Someone won't set foot in a cemetery, but to make accusations that I trespass, knowing there are hiking trails behind the cemetery, and the only way to the main road is to go through the cemetery, and the demand I take my 4 videos down, which are not disrespectful in nature. Why put epitaphs and poems and all these fancy things on these expensive granite gravestones if people cannot honor the deceased? Why? Why do it? So anyways, April 3rd, 4th, or whatever, I received about 20 hate messages. They were all bombed within a half hour by the head tribal members and family members that had intermits, and I filmed video footage, and they said I desecrated and I vandalized and I'm going to jail and I trespassed. The thing is about trespassing is you have to be able to prove I trespassed. And I'm not about to disclose which tribal member gave me a tour of your cemetery. That's private records. We do not have to give out their information or their name. We protect them so that they are not subjected to hate speech. And it's a shame that we live in a society where Native Americans are still prejudiced against many white people. Especially me, when I'm pro-Native American. And all the people that were writing me, they're like, I'm going to put a curse on you. The reason why the cemetery's haunted is because you entered in disrespect of it. No. It's because I am a parapsychologist. And a good parapsychologist knows how to work with loved ones, family members. And it seems like there's a lot of hatred because some of your family members gave out EVPs, showed up in photographs, and even on our EMF detectors. And I'm not about to take a video down where people can learn to respect your cemetery, and at the same time, not just respect the cemetery, but see what the supernatural is really about. And I am a mentor, and we are using it for educational purposes. We are not selling our videos. Reading the epitaphs is not disrespectful. It's honoring these people who are buried there. The poem that I read on the video, it was 10 feet away from the gravestone. It wasn't even on the tombstone. The American flag on the flagpole is ripped. All the veterans' flags are ripped and torn. There's gravestones pushed over. There's flowers not even on the graves. The little knickknacks are all over the place. And all these people are writing me saying, you're desecrating my cemetery. It's everybody's cemetery. Because in the spirit world, there is no racism. There is no black or white. You think I went in the cemetery to purposely hurt the Washoe Tribe? Do you think that was my intention? I'm the one who did some restoration work on your cemetery. And all the people that wrote me saying I'm desecrating, I'm disrespectful. Well, if I'm disrespectful, then why aren't you in the Alpine Washoe Cemetery doing a job that I am performing? If you're so concerned. You have no gate in front of it. You have no federal property signs. You're threatening me with fines. You're threatening me with jail time. But you know what? Here's the kicker. I have saved from the tribal council and its members all the hate speech, all the threats. And I can take that right now and I can prosecute all of you. And you know what? It's a felony. It's a felony. So, me making a documentary and hiking in the Toyabe National Forest and just coming across the cemetery, not seeing no signs, nothing like that, you know, is it really trespass? Is it really trespassing when one of your members brought me up there to show me it as we hiked in the woods? No. You're making accusations about me, and it's got to stop. I will put right now the videos are private, but we've had a lot of successful comments, a lot of successful hits on them. Nobody has disrespected the cemetery, but I will put a disclaimer in out of respect for the Washoe tribal members. But I don't want to hear that families are enraged all because I took some video and pictures and EVPs at the cemetery. We live in the 20th century here. A lot of people are ghost hunting. A lot of people visit cemeteries. A lot of people visit them at night. And are those people also disrespectful and desecrating? No. We have a lot to learn about the spiritual world. And the Washoe people, I thought, were spiritual people. People that were one with the earth, that understood that there is an afterlife. And instead I get told, I hope evil follows you home. Well, you know what? I spent hours in that cemetery. And I came home and there was no curse. There was no evil. There was EVPs. There was paranormal evidence. And it wasn't because I was there when I wasn't supposed to be. It was because there are spirits in that cemetery that are lonely, that desire to be visited. And for every good deed is good karma. Going to that cemetery, fixing some of the grave sites, it's a good deed. And the Washoe Tribe of Nevada and California and Alpine County and Douglas County are basically shitting on me. Pardon my French, but talk about spirit desecration. I'm told I'm white. Well, most of the burials there, the interments and the people that are buried there are 50 to 75% white. So basically, the 25% Native American in you is fighting against the white in me. It's unbelievable how many Washoe sites I've been to. All of them fully legal. Luther Canyon, the cave that's up at Lake Tahoe where the White Lady is. And I get threatened, even for public places. I get threatened constantly by the Washoe people. Same people I take my hard-earned money and spend cartons and cartons and cartons between me and my fiance at your reservation smoke shop. I'm not an enemy, I'm a friend. But when you come at me with threats and violence and racism, do you actually think I'm going to remove those videos? All you had to do was write me and explain your culture. But you know what? You don't have to explain it. I study your culture. And I was even persecuted because I spoke the Washoe language. Very few Washoe people speak the old language. People study liberal arts. People speak Cantonese, Chinese, Mandarin, Korean, Spanish. And I was even persecuted for doing my best to try to translate an epitaph that was in Washoe. I'm desecrating because I want to increase my knowledge of your culture. I respect your culture. That is why I spend hundreds of dollars on my site to write about your culture so people can learn about it and people could kind of stop the racism and stop the hate. But instead you've turned to racism and hate on me, and in return you could take me to court for trespassing, but you know what? All I have to do is show a judge that you sent me, your tribal council sent me threats and everything else, and guess who's going to jail? It's not me, it's you. I'm a father of 2 kids. If you think in threatening to sue me isn't going to go over very well because you're never going to get 1 red cent out of me, I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't make any money at what I do. Okay? I do not have anything you can sue me for. I do not own a vehicle. All my clothes got holes in them. What are you going to sue me for? You know, I've had Native American people write me and thank me. You should send me a fruit basket that your family members are so willing to communicate. For example, there was a dad, a father, well, he's a father, he was a hunter, a Native American, and many other things. And I spoke to him. And all of a sudden the EMF detector went off for 25 seconds. And then I thanked him and I said goodbye. And the EMF detector stopped. The equipment doesn't lie. That is a bond with the spiritual world. It means that your deceased family members have taken a liking to me. And it has nothing to do with white, black, whatever. It has to do with the fact that I am respectful. And it's very disappointing that we live in a world today where people are still racist and prejudiced and everything else. And it's got to stop. When does it stop? I've never had a problem with any Native American tribe other than when I moved to this region. I don't even live in California, but I like to hike there and I like the outdoors, and I understand that at one time the Washoe people lived in these canyons and on these mountains. They hunted, they fished, and they did all these things, which are all public sites, including the trails all behind the cemetery, which you have no fence around, so you can't tell where the border starts and where it ends. Yeah, there's a sign, don't be there after dark. But you know what? We were given permission to be there. Too bad, so sad. I apologize for any pain and suffering and what you feel is desecration, but I will not apologize for racy remarks, for hatred speech. I'm just not going to do it. Because bombing my YouTube is not the best way to go about it. You want to talk about it? We'll talk about it. Ask a question. Did you trespass? Don't say you trespass. Oh, you're going to get what you deserve. What is that supposed to mean? You want to kill me? When I've gone to your cemetery and volunteered at it? And I've been visiting all the sites the Washoe Tribe's been to or resided in the 1800s or 300, 400, 500 years ago, which are now public sites. And I sit here and I write about it. Just like on Job's Peak, I restored the Washoe Cemetery there. Where's my thanks in all this? I don't need a thanks. I'm just happy to do something right. But in return, just because I go to your cemetery and do a paranormal investigation is not desecration. It's scientific and educational research. And you see these TV shows with all these cemeteries, and you know what? There's a right way and a wrong way to go about it. And we're trying to show people the right way. You know, we're reading epitaphs, we're talking about these people, we're honoring them, we're remembering them, we're talking about the conditions in the cemetery, all these things. And it's all directed towards the light, a positive cause. I have nothing against the Washoe people. I understand that I mispronounced it. I said Washoe. It's because I'm from back east. I'm from Buffalo, New York, hence my jersey. So I have an accent. And sometimes instead of saying Washoe, I say Washoe. And I even got persecuted for that. And because my name's Lord Rick, somebody knocked that. Most of the tribal members are acting very insane, very childish. They're pissed because there's a video of their family member's grave, which, you know, why do you have stones in place with names on them and epitaphs if people can't read them and enjoy them? It would be one thing if I'm selling the videos or if I'm promoting vandalism or hate or any of that, but I'm not. And it goes to show me that you, I'm saying you, because you know who you are, you sunk way lower than me. And the videos will go back up. I will put a disclaimer in there on all 4 videos. And I'll explain that I was not trespass. And YouTube is very aware of this. My lawyer is very aware of this. And that is where I stand. And I'm holding my ground. No matter what threat you give me, I will take the ability for you to make comments on the videos. And you will have to email me. And we can discuss it all day long if you want. But the way I see it is, what did I do wrong? Other than visit a cemetery, which has European descent burials there, as well as Washoe tribal members there. But the condition of the cemetery is not in the best of shape, and I'm trying to historically preserve it. Maybe you're offended because I am making it aware in the video of the wrongs that are in that cemetery. And the people that are writing me are bitching me out, but why aren't you up there funding the cemetery for restoration? Why aren't you putting federal signs up? Why aren't you putting a gate up? Why don't you put your money towards that for a good cause if you want to keep people out like me per se because I'm white? I think it's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. Oh, the spirits hate you. That's why they're active in this video, because they hate you because you're white. Ignorance is bliss. And I see a lot of ignorance. A lot of people who don't even know what they're talking about. They're quoting me laws they don't even know about. They're threatening me. The families are going to sue me. Sue me. I don't have one red cent. Do you know why? Because I suffer from health problems, and I have for many years. That is why I don't have one red cent. You can take me to court, you can sue me over and over and over again, but you can't drain blood from a turnip. I volunteered my whole entire life towards the paranormal, towards the supernatural, towards entities, towards ghosts. And for some Washoe member to say those were evil spirits, you truly believe there's evil lurking in your cemetery and they're out to get me? Ignorance. Just like with, I'm going to go to jail. Of course it's federal land. It's a national forest. A public national forest. Maybe that cemetery belongs to your people, but your people were also of white descent that are buried in that cemetery. And so to see the racism and the immaturity of many, some teenagers write me, but some people 40s and 50s, and in line saying they're the chair, and I go on the Washoe website and find out that your chair got terminated. You don't have a chair right now to make such decisions as to what happens to me. I believe in freedom of speech, and I'm speaking my mind. And everybody who knows me knows I'm pro-Native American. I got a best friend out here who's Native American. I respect his beliefs. I respect your beliefs. But my beliefs and your beliefs are two separate things. And just because I have one set of beliefs and I go to your cemetery, if I want to believe there's ghosts there, that's up to me. Maybe you don't. Maybe you believe that it's disrespectful to call out their names and talk to them. But we have two different religions, two different theologies, two different beliefs. And I will not force mine onto you if you won't force yours onto me. But don't go threatening me and giving hate speech. Because I'm going to tell you right now, that's not the way to get your cemetery restored, or for me to teach people about your culture, because I'm the only one doing it. You're not doing it. And that is a very sad situation to see. It's very sad to see that a lot of the cemeteries at our Washoe are not maintained proper. And a guy like me comes in there, and yeah, you know, granted, you may have found what I did disrespectful, but it all depends how you look at it. We're two different cultures, but I don't hate you and you shouldn't hate me. Desecration's a strong word. It means disrespect. Disrespecting walking across a grave site. Okay, I understand where you're coming from. Is it illegal? No. It comes down to morale. Also set of beliefs. I'm walking on the earth. I'm not walking on coffins. I'm not digging up graves or anything of the sort. And you can go ahead and pass this on to the feds. There's nothing illegal in those videos. You know, a father of two kids, take my kids out. Apparently my kids are desecrating as well, because I'm teaching them about the Washoe culture, because the Washoe were technically the first settlers in this region. So the culture is extremely important, because it ties into this area in its early history. And some of you want to put me in jail and fine me. You want to take away a father from their two kids, all because I'm teaching my kids about your culture and because I want to learn your culture. It's a very sad situation. You know, here's the kicker. I got a few friends who work. They are white. And they work for the Washoe Tribe. I must be a good guy if they're friends with me and they work for you. I just cannot believe the ignorance in society. I cannot believe that someone would... I mean, we don't live in the 1800s. I'm sure half of the people that wrote me watch Ghost Hunters and watch all these paranormal shows. But We bring a documentary with historical preservation, a little bit of supernatural to your cemetery, and all of a sudden I'm evil, I'm Satan, I'm this, I'm that. You know what? I'm just not buying into it. Because I know what I'm doing from my heart is right. And that's all that has to be said. You want to take me to court? You want to waste your money taking me to court? Take me to court. You know what? But I'll tell you what. With the screen caps and the copies and the printouts of all the hate letters, what you've committed is a felony. What I've committed is nothing but a mere hike through the woods and passing through the cemetery. I'm sorry you feel that in your culture it's disrespectful to speak your family's names. But they are no longer human. They are in spirit. And the thing is I can't change your belief system and you can't change mine. All I can do is not visit the cemetery again, put a disclaimer on the videos, and give my public apology. I'm sorry that I offended you. But in my opinion, I feel, or I should word it like this, is do you honestly think that I went into the cemetery with thoughts of purposely offending certain families and individuals? Pretty doubtful, don't you think? It wasn't like I said, I'm going to pick on this family, that family, you know, whatever, man. It doesn't work like that. When we do a paranormal investigation, we spend time at it. And, you know, whatever we come across, we come across. But you pay to put those epitaphs so people can read the memories of these people and who they were and what they stood for. And you want to take those away. All because of a white man read a few epitaphs, spoke Washoe, and got a few ghosts on film. Big whoopee-doo. I'm not an evil person. I'm not a bad person. I'm a devoted father, and even though I'm Italian, German, and Polish, I'm probably about as Native American as you're going to find in this region. Even if I'm not. Because it's what's in the heart. Native American is in the heart. It's not about skin color or hair color or any of those things. It's about what's in the heart. And I feel the way some of them tribal members treated me, I'm more Native American than you. Because at least I'm writing about the Washoe history and its people. And fixing up your cemeteries and doing documentaries and all these things. If the cemetery wasn't meant to be visited, why not post federal signs? Why not put a gate? Why not say everybody needs to stay out? Why put epitaphs on the graves? Be enraged all you want. I'm not enraged. I feel peace. I feel love. Continue to send me hate messages, and I will prosecute you. You want to just talk about the supernatural? You want to talk about some haunted places? You want to join our team? I'm more than welcome to take you on a few outings. But I will not tolerate racism and hate speech and knocking my name and making fun of me and cursing me and all these things. It's so stupid. Because you're saying I sunk low, but you're sinking all the way down here. And some of you are not being true to yourselves in your culture. That's all I got to say. I want to say peace to all my friends, my supporters, my fans. The Paranormal Ghost Society, we're more than just a paranormal group. We're a preservation organization. We help other people. We offer parties, we offer meets, we do photography, we do videos. We're more than just about going to a cemetery and just collecting ghosts. We're also about embracing the journey. And that's what being Native American is about. It's about embracing the journey. And I journeyed to that cemetery, and I went with no cause other than to do a good thing. And some of you are trying to take that away from me. It's just not right. It's not fair. And I think that people will find it very appalling. And some tribal members may even be outraged at the fact that some of them within their own tribe are making threats towards our society when we're an ally and a friend to the Washoe people. And I had some 18-year-olds say that, she saved my videos and she's going to prosecute me and I'm going to pay heavy fines, this and that. Well, you know what? Nobody is perfect. All of you need to take a look at yourself in the mirror. Nobody's perfect. There's not one man that doesn't make a mistake. But there's not one man that cannot learn from a mistake. And my mistake is trying to do something nice. That is my mistake. I won't go back. I won't go back. Because if the Washoe people are going to be prejudiced and threaten me and everything else, I don't want to deal with it. It's fine. Let's not educate anybody on the cemetery. So that way people will go into it disrespecting it, rather than treat it as a place to appreciate its beauty in the woods, its culture, its epitaphs, all those things. It's really all I got to say. And people being so hateful and so mean, you're just wronging yourselves. But you're also wronging me at the same time, and you're also taking out things. Another thing is, why can't you white people stay on your land and I'll have my land? This is America. It's all our land. You cannot tell me that the Native Americans do not shop at Smith's Grocery. You cannot tell me that you don't drive in my neighborhood. But the moment a white man hikes in a forest that belongs to everybody, because technically that is the Toyabe National Forest, I'm told, this is my land. Why can't you white people stay off of it and go on your own land? I don't own any land. I share the land. And this is Lord Rick of the Paranormal and Ghost Society. Peace.